It should be like 8 seconds to go. And there we go. Happy New Year! The people outside screaming. Oh, yet to another year of disappointment. Hello and welcome to the first video of the new year. And I think that it is fitting that I go through the movies that I am mainly excited for next year. So of course, what better to start off with than probably one of the first films I'm gonna watch, and that is of course Kung Fu Panda 4, with a release date of the 8th of March, although over here the 22nd of March, which sucks. But I'm very excited for this movie. Obviously, how can anyone not be? We are getting all the villains back, and you know, the only thing about it that is rubbing the wrong way is there's no Furious 5 in the trailer. They will probably be in like 1 or 2 scenes, which is gonna suck because the Kung Fu Panda trilogy, I think, is the best trilogy of all time. The first movie is legendary. The second movie is even better, probably one of, if not the best animated movie of all time, or at least the best DreamWorks movie. Phenomenal villains. Third one, I know some people had a problem with it being too comedic, and it feels like this one is gonna go in a similar direction, but I am so excited for this movie, especially since every single villain is going to be coming back. Kai will be back, Shen will be back, and of course, as we saw in the trailer, Tai Lung will be back. People did think that Tai Lung got knocked out in the trailer, but he did very much stand up. That is how the chameleon was able to punch him. She took his kung fu ability and then he stood up and she punched him. This, I think, is going to be by far the most stylish of the Kung Fu Panda films because the music is going to be unlike any of the other ones. But anyway, moving on to what will probably be the first film I see next year, which really is what I should have done first. But I wanted to start this video off with Kung Fu Panda, you know, get you engaged. That is, of course, Night Swim. So obviously I'm a big horror fan, and this is produced by Blumhouse, the same people who made Megan, but more importantly, Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. No one cares about Halloween Ends. Fuck you, dickheads. But Night Swim is a movie that I think has intrigued a lot of people because of its simple premise. And that is simply that, obviously, in a lot of movies, there's scenes involving pools, most notably The Strangers 2. And of course, that does involve a swimming pool. But when we go into the pools, right, as real people, okay, not movie characters, when we enter a pool, there's always that little bit of us that thinks, what if there is like a monster in there? What if we just put our heads under the water and a shark will come up or something like that? So of course, that is what this movie is going to be playing on, our fear of the water. I'm sure people like me with thalassophobia, which is the fear of deep or big bodies of water, will really just be absolutely terrified watching this movie, even though it's probably going to be PG-13. I, for one, am very excited for this, mainly to see what they are able to do, because like I said, this is mainly just like a one-scene thing in most horror films, you know, just a pool. But now they're going to be centering an entire movie around it, and I'm so excited for that. So, yeah, very excited for the Night Swim with a release date of the 5th of January. Next up is Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire. I don't know why people are still saying Godzilla X Kong, okay? The X is just there for stylistic purposes. You don't say X, it's clearly Godzilla and Kong. Okay, Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire with a release date of the 12th of April. So 4 months and 11 days, basically. This movie is just looks awesome, really. Pink Godzilla, Kong with a mechanical attachment onto his arm, the Scar King, who seems to be basically like Hitler of these ape titans. We got well, spoilers, Shimo obviously coming in with this movie. That is the only issue with the MonsterVerse. It happened with Zilla vs. Kong with Mechagodzilla. It has happened again with Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire, with the secret monster being revealed via toys and leaks and all this crap. But this movie looks sick. I love the MonsterVerse. I loved Godzilla. And, I loved every movie other than the first Godzilla. The characters just weren't that interesting to me. I only liked Bryan Cranston because, well, he's Bryan Cranston. I only liked Elizabeth Olsen because she's sexy. But this movie is gonna be so freaking sick. It is leaning more into the monster side of things. And that is what I don't understand about these Godzilla fans, is that when Godzilla is grounded, they say, oh no, bring in things like Ghidorah, like Shimo, And I'm like, bro, but now that they're leaning into it, they're calling it goofy and stupid. Like, where's the logic? Godzilla fans are the worst. They suck. And I'm saying that as a Godzilla fan. We are so toxic. It is unbelievable. But this movie, honestly, between this and Kung Fu Panda 4, I don't know which one I'm more excited for, but I think currently it's gonna have to be Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire. Next up, we have Saw 11, based Saw XI, alright, Saw 11, with a release date of I believe, the 27th of September. This thing, oh my god, I think that everyone was amazed by how good Saw X was. It is by far the best Saw movie, okay? You can take your nostalgia for the first one, alright? It's easier to say that that's your favorite one, but I think everyone will collectively agree that Saw X is the best Saw movie. This thing was absolutely amazing. It was nearly flawless. If they didn't have Shawnee Smith in that horrible wig as Amanda, I think it would have been way better. The story was amazing. John Kramer as a character, I think, just solidifies that he is the heart of the franchise. Tobin Bell is what makes these movies good, because after he died, they just kind of went downhill. Saw 5 and 6 are decent, but really, apart from that, the movies just aren't that good. And I say that as a Saw fan, I liked the whole soap opera. But Saw X really just pissed me off with the ending, as it was supposed to. That doesn't mean the movie's bad, because of course they left Cecilia alive, and she is basically going to be a really good apprentice for Jigsaw in Saw 11. She is a ruthless bitch who I think everyone just really wanted her to have the worst trap. But I feel with Saw 11, you have to bring in another apprentice, because I feel if it's just John and Amanda again, then it will kind of lose that sense of excitement. I feel like we got to have Hoffman in. And then maybe in the next movie, Saw 12, to wrap up this trilogy, we're going to have to bring in all the apprentices. But that's just my opinion. Saw 11. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this movie. Next up is Sonic 3, which I believe will probably be the last film of 2024 that I will be watching, with a release date of the 20th of December. This is gonna be fucking crazy, because I'll be honest, I really liked the first Sonic movie, but it did just feel very childish in terms of the sense of humor. Obviously, it's meant to be, Sonic, everyone played, well, except for me, obviously, but everyone who played the Sonic games played them as kids, it started playing it as kids. So obviously, this is going to be aimed towards, kid-based humor. The first one, I'll be honest, it was a good film, but the second one blew it out of the water. Sonic 2 is, in my opinion, the best video game movie to ever exist. It was truly phenomenal. Every character. And, one thing that this movie really did was made me appreciate Idris Elba's voice. Because just having him as Knuckles, not seeing his face, oh my god, his voice is amazing. Eggman was amazing, and I really hope that Jim Carrey does come back. I know he said he retired from acting, but just this one film, please. Because they did specify that the body wasn't found. But I think what everyone is excited for is Shadow. That is gonna be a crazy character. And, I really hope that Sonic 3, even though I haven't played a single Sonic game, I really enjoyed Sonic 2. And I know that people who played the games loved it. And that is really what I care about, is the people who these movies were made for. They weren't made for me. They were made for the Sonic fans. And I really hope that Sonic 3 leans more into the video game aspect of Sonic, Overall, really excited for this one. Next up is Transformers 1, an animated Transformers movie telling the story of Optimus Prime and Megatron when they were on Cybertron, with a release date of, I believe it is the 17th of September. And, I gotta be honest, this segment is gonna be pretty short because I don't really know that much about this movie. We don't really have a good look at the designs, at the animation style. We don't really have that much in terms of the story, so despite Transformers being my favorite franchise, I don't really have much to say on this one, so I guess we move on to the next one. Next up is A Quiet Place Day 1. And, I'm gonna be honest, I'm quite confused about this one. So it's been a while since I saw A Quiet Place 2. And from what I remember, that showed the aliens, right? They showed them coming to Earth in that film because it's a prequel. Yeah, it is a prequel, okay? It showed the aliens coming to Earth, right? Which is the first day. This third movie is called A Quiet Place Day 1, which then doesn't really make sense to me because then that was the first day the aliens came to Earth. So then how can the third one also be on the first day they came to Earth? It doesn't really make sense to me. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if I misjudged this whole situation because it's been a while since I saw the second one. But yeah, please explain that to me down below. Because honestly, I have no fucking clue what I'm talking about. I love The Quiet Place. I thought it was absolutely amazing. And the fact that there is no talking in this movie other than like the waterfall scene and obviously the ending bit with John Krasinski, really sad moment. A Quiet Place 2 definitely kind of it leaned more into the alien side of things, but to be honest with you, I prefer the first one. But yeah, I'm very excited for A Quiet Place Day 1. Interesting time to release it, the 28th of June. But yeah, moving on to the next one. Next up is Venom 3. I have no idea what the title for this movie is actually going to be, because for some odd reason, we still don't have a name for it. We're just calling it Venom 3. The last one was obviously Venom Let There Be Carnage, a title which really just did not justify the movie because Carnage only had like one scene of awesomeness, and that's when he broke out of the prison. But the second Venom movie really rubbed people the wrong way. Even myself, who absolutely loved the first one. I love the first Venom movie. It is one of the most fun films for me to watch. I really, really loved it. And the second one, it was good, but it was way too comedic. I'm sorry. You cannot have a movie with Carnage be PG-13 and be this comedic. It didn't work. So for Venom 3, I really am hoping that they go the Kraven the Hunter route and make it, I believe it rated R. I think that's the American rating for like violent shit is rated R. I just want some blood, man. Like whoever this next villain is, make him a threat. You can't just have another symbiote. Come on. But please have him meet Spider-Man. I'm sick of Venom having to not meet Spider-Man. Please. The Venom 2 post-credit scene just kind of misled us. But yeah, Venom 3, I'm quite excited for it. And I believe this is the 8th of November, although this could change for all I know. I wouldn't be surprised if it's different. Undoubtedly the goriest franchise there is. And well, I say franchise, it's a duology. The goriest duology there is, that is Terrifier. And I'm going to try and keep this segment as short as possible so I don't have to censor that much. But yeah, Terrifier 2, I think everyone agrees, is one of the goriest, if not the goriest film of all time. It is horrific to watch, even as me, who is someone who's not really that affected by gore and stuff. Terrifier 2 was horrible. Because the people are still alive when it's happening, it's horrendous to watch. It really is. Terrifier 2 is just, oh my god, it's a nightmare to watch, but it's because it's so good. Terrifier 2 did actually try to have a story, and this third movie, oh man, they really did do the second movie perfectly because it answered a few things on the first one, but really it left more questions open for the third film to answer because it ended on a very what the fuck note. And that is obviously for the third film to pick up the scraps and continue the story with. I believe this is coming out the 25th of October, so obviously just before Halloween. Perfect timing. Although it is going to be a Christmas movie, and I know that people are upset that they're going to be killing a little girl off brutally. But personally, I'm all here for it because I am sick of this unwritten rule in horror movies that you don't kill off kids on camera, bloody, bloody, bloody. Yes, I know that there's movies like The Boogeyman, like A Quiet Place, where the kids do die, obviously, but they're not killed like brutally on screen. You know, it's like an off-screen kind of thing. Terrifier 3, Damien Leone is not gonna hold anything back. So yeah, moving on to the next one, which is less gory. Now I'm gonna be honest, right? Okay, don't kill me. I love Marvel. I love most of the MCU, but even though this isn't in the MCU, I have not seen a single Deadpool movie. I'm really sorry. I haven't seen anything of Deadpool. But Deadpool 3 is the only Marvel movie coming out next year. Okay, emphasis on movie. It's the only Marvel movie coming out next year. And, you know, for those who love Deadpool, I think that this is probably the most exciting project there is because Hugh Jackman is in as Wolverine as well. And you know, the reason why I decided to talk about Deadpool 3 is because by the time it comes out, I definitely will have seen both Deadpools, you know, and I definitely feel like I should probably watch something with Wolverine as well. It's just like most Marvel movies that aren't in the MCU, I never really showed much interest in, but I think I'm gonna branch out to that side of Marvel. So yeah, I believe this is like what something of 26th of July. 26th of July, we will see Deadpool 3. Next up is Joker fuck it, it's Joker 2. Okay, Joker 2 is coming out on the 4th of October. And oh man, I don't think I can actually express how I love the first Joker film. You know, I love The Dark Knight, I love the whole Christopher Nolan trilogy, but in my opinion, right, this is the best DC movie. I'm sorry. It is absolutely amazing, and I can't fault it. It's just phenomenal. You know, the first time I watched it, my mind was blown because I think I just watched The Dark Knight. Actually, no. Sorry, no. This was the first movie with the Joker that I watched because I was never a DC fan. Okay, leave me alone. I was never a DC fan, but when I saw a Joker movie, I was like, this could actually be really interesting. So obviously, I watched this, and then I proceeded to become obsessed with Batman. And then obviously I started branching out into more of the DC universe. But Joker, I think, worked as a standalone movie. You know, don't connect it to anything. Just leave it in its own universe, just like Robert Pattinson's Batman. The first movie was phenomenal. And the second one, it's a musical, which I am not looking forward to. Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn is decent, but come on, no one is gonna beat Margot Robbie. There's no competition. Like, that is one of the best castings in superhero history, is Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. And, you know, it's just, it won't feel the same seeing this Joker in like a musical movie. I feel like you need a dark, depressing tone, just like the first one. But yeah, you know, I'll hold out hope for this one. But I'm saying it now. There's no way in hell that it's going to be better than the first Joker. If it is, I will cut off a finger. Okay, I'm calling it now. And the final film of this video is Despicable Me 4, with the release date of the 3rd of July. And I gotta be honest with you, I love the Despicable Me movies. The first, actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say all three amazing. You know, it's just like Kung Fu Panda. All three are amazing, but this is different to Kung Fu Panda. This is a very, very childish franchise. You know, Kung Fu Panda, obviously, that is very much adult, mainly the second one. This one, very targeted towards children. The first movie, I think, is absolutely phenomenal. Although I say that the first Despicable Me does have some pretty powerful moments. The first movie, amazing. The second one is just, oh my god, I love it so much. The third one is quite funny. Um, and as for Minions, I loved the first Minions movie, and the second one, I watched it in cam quality, although I didn't even notice it until someone walked in front of the camera. But the second one was pretty good. It was really fun to have Gru like as a kid. And as for Despicable Me 4, I don't really know where we're gonna go from here. I have no doubts that it's going to be great. Despicable Me have always delivered. And Gru is just he's such a funny character. And the Minions, I hope, do bring some great comedy to this movie. But yeah, I think that is going to have to be it, right? So yeah, I think that is going to have to wrap up this video. Those are all the movies, at least that I can think of, or currently, that I am excited for 2024. We have just started the year off. And I am so excited for some of these films. It is actually crazy. But yeah, please let me know what your most anticipated movies of next year, well, this year, what the most anticipated movies of this year are. And yeah, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and goodbye.